Brazil versus Morocco, the first major match of this 2026 World Cup matchday, number 1 of Group C of the World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the United States. It will be played this Saturday the 13th at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A stadium with a capacity for 82,500 people, which will also, by the way, be the venue for the final of the tournament. This is one of the most attractive matches, as we've said, of the entire opening match day. It's not an easy group. Brazil and Morocco share the group with Haiti and Scotland, but everyone knows that this clash between the two favorites will set the tone for what's to come. But let's go straight to the schedules. After all, that's what we're here for, right? And so everyone knows when it starts and in which country. The match will kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. From there, each country has its own schedule. For example, in Mexico, it will start at 4 p.m. In Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama, it will be at 5 p.m. In Bolivia, Venezuela, and the Dominican Republic, it will be at 6 p.m. In Chile, also at 6 p.m. local time. In Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Brazil, it would be at 7 p.m. In Spain, at midnight from Saturday to Sunday, that is, at 12 a.m., already in the early hours of Sunday the 14th. Remember these times because it's the same match, the same kickoff time. It's just that each country has its own time zone. Now, the most important thing, country by country, channel by channel, without any beating around the bush. In Mexico, the host of the World Cup, it will be broadcast on free-to-air television and completely free on Canal 5 and Azteca 7. Also on cable and streaming on Tudem, VIX Premium with the 2026 World Cup Pass and the Azteca Deportes app. If you're in Mexico and have an antenna, you don't need anything else but to turn on the TV. In Colombia, for all our Colombian brothers, the coverage here is extensive. On free-to-air TV, we'll have Caracol TV and RCN TV, the two biggest networks in the country. Also available, of course, on cable through WinWing Sport and via streaming on WinWimplay, Disney Plus, and D2. For those who want all 104 matches of the tournament, you can watch them in full on DS Sport and The Go. If you're in Peru, the free-to-air broadcast will be on America Television, Channel 4 free, and without a subscription. If you want to watch it via streaming from Peru, you'll have to watch it on America TV Go. On cable and platforms, it would have to be on DS Sports, The Go, Disney Plus, and Paramount Plus. For my Argentine brothers, there are also some very interesting options here. On free-to-air TV, you can watch it on Telefe completely free. If you want to watch it on cable, it will be on DS Sports. If you want to watch it via streaming, it would be on The Go and mitele.com, along with Disney Plus Premium, Amazon Prime Video, and also on Paramount Plus. If you're going to watch it from Chile on free-to-air TV, it would be on Chilevisión. On cable, you can watch it on DS Sports, The Go, Paramount, and Disney Plus, and SPM. And let me tell you that Chilevisión also broadcasts the featured matches of the group stage on free-to-air TV, and this one is, of course, on that list. For my Ecuadorian brothers, you can watch it on the free-to-air channel Teleamazonas, or if you're going to watch it on cable and platforms, on DS The Go and Disney Plus. For Venezuela, on free-to-air TV, you can watch it on Venevisión and Televen, which have coverage of the tournament. To watch it on cable, it would be on DS Sports and the platform The Go. For Bolivia, on free-to-air TV, it's on Bolivar TV and Red One, which have all those selected matches. If you want to watch it on cable and streaming, on DDS and The Go. For Paraguay, also on free-to-air TV, on Gen and Canal 13 through digital platforms. You can follow it on VS Sports on YouTube and also on Disney Plus Premium. On cable, on DS Sports and The Go. By the way, before we continue with the video, you should know that if you want to follow the best commentary of the 2026 World Cup on this very channel, we'll be calling the best matches. Subscribe and hit like to get notified when the match starts. Brazilian viewers, stay tuned for something special. You can watch it on free-to-air TV on TV Globo, which broadcasts selected matches, the best matches of the World Cup. But there's an option that's making waves all over Brazil. The streamer cafe, that's Casimiro Miguel, broadcasts, listen up, all 104 matches, the entire World Cup, completely and totally free from his YouTube channel. That's historic. Search for Cafe TV on YouTube and you've got it. Let me remind you, if you want to watch the match with our friend Cafe and hear the best commentary, choose Barça Hoy. For our Costa Rican brothers, keep in mind that it's also available on free-to-air TV through Teletica. It's the official network with 32 matches of the tournament, including the opening match and the final. For our Honduran brothers, it's on free-to-air TV, on Canal 5, The Leader. Also available via streaming on DeportesTVC.com and on cable through Fox and Azteca Deportes Network. Of course, for our brothers in the United States, the match will be broadcast in English on Fox and in Spanish on Telemundo. It's also available on Peacock, ViX Premium, and Fubo TV. If you can't access the local broadcast or are abroad, these platforms cover nearly all of Latin America. The Sports and the Go have all 104 matches in the tournament. If you want to watch absolutely every World Cup match without exception, this is your option. Available in practically all South American countries. On Paramount Plus, it also carries many World Cup matches in the region. Disney Premium also has selected matches produced by SPM, which also includes, by the way, the most important clashes. And on ViX Premium, it's the main option for Mexico, the United States, and Central America. Now you know where and at what time, but let's understand why this match matters so much. Brazil hasn't won the World Cup since 2002. Pay attention to this. 24 years of drought. In Qatar, 2022, they fell in the quarterfinals against Croatia on penalties. Today, with Carlos Ancelotti in charge and a generation led by Vinicius, Rafinha, and Bruno Guimaraes, Brazil feels that this is their moment. There are doubts about Neymar. He arrived at training camp with some discomfort, and he might not be available for this debut. However, he is expected to participate starting from the second match day. Morocco, for their part, are not newcomers. In fact, at Qatar 2022, they reached the semifinals. They ultimately finished in 4th place. And it's the best performance by an African team in World Cup history. Yacine Bono in goal, Hakimi, Ziyech, and En-Nesyri up front, among others. A totally organized team, very physical, that's for sure, and they're not afraid of anyone. In fact, in their last head-to-head match in 2023, Morocco beat Brazil 2-1 in a friendly, and they remember that very well. In World Cup history, they've only faced each other once, in France '98. Brazil won 3-0 with goals from Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Bebeto. Obviously, it was a different era. It was a Brazil side that scared everyone. But that Morocco is very different from this one. To sum up, Saturday, June 13th, MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. In Mexico, you can watch it at 4 p.m. In Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru at 5 o'clock, Bolivia, Venezuela, and Chile at 6 o'clock, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Brazil at 7 o'clock, Spain at midnight, that is, at 12 o'clock, and on free channels, you can watch it on Azteca 7 and Canal 5 in Mexico. Caracol and RCN in Colombia, America TV in Peru, Telefe in Argentina, Chilevisión in Chile, Teleamazonas in Ecuador. Gen and Canal 13 in Paraguay, Canal 10 or Tele 12 in Uruguay, and KCTV on YouTube for Brazil. And if you're in any country in the region without a free-to-air signal available, you can follow it on Barça Hoy, where we'll have the best commentary on the entire internet on all of YouTube for the best matches of the 2026 World Cup. See you there.